Hello weirdos and welcome to my channel. My name is EmmaAbe and I am so excited for this upcoming month and for this video. So today is a TBR. It is specifically, oh my god, I cannot talk today. It is specifically my TBR for the IndigAthon. This is an IndigAthon created by two Native American hosts. It was created last year in order to celebrate Native literature and get more people reading Native literature, which I think is an amazing thing to do, because we should all do that. The creators of this are Brody and Thor Wants Another Letter. I will leave their information in the description down below so you guys can go check out their videos and all that stuff. Also links to their announcement videos. They're both two awesome Native creators on this platform. Hey, one last thing before we get started, and that is vote. If you're in America, November elections for the presidency is coming up. This year, I'm really excited because like the celebrations are like expanding because they're doing lots more Instagram stuff, lots more Twitter things, and reading sprints, and I don't know how involved I'm gonna get into all that because November is an extremely busy month because not only is it IndigAthon, it's also Nonfiction November, and school decides to get really intense in the month of November because it's like the month right before finals. My hopes are always really high for November and I just don't know how much I'm going to get done, but I will try, and the books that I'm going to be talking about like in this video are going to get prioritized as much as they can given the craziness that is usually November. So, alright, so last year they had like a bingo board of like 25 prompts. Now they pared it down, they made it smaller. There's only 9 prompts this year, and I'm going to kind of go through them. I didn't pick out a book specifically for each of those prompts because I don't want to get overly ambitious. I do have like 5 books that I'm wanting to read. I'll talk about them once I get through the prompts and kind of talk about what they will like apply for. The first one is intersectionality, which is when you have the intersections of 2 different identities. So it can be Native and queer. It can also be like Native and Black, because that's a thing. It can also be like Native and a woman. The second prompt is new to you, which is like an author that is new to you that you've not read before and they're excited to read. The next book is talk about a tribe that is other than the 5 civilized tribes that include the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole, which I find Seminole to just be really interesting because the Seminole have a very interesting history. They've not been around for as long as most people think. Anyway, then the next prompt would be like middle grade, so read a book that is like for middle graders. The next one's like the free space, so it's kind of like any like literature that doesn't really fit any of the other prompts. Just read it. So then after that we have a buddy read, so just buddy read with someone. I don't know if I'll be doing that. We'll see. Next would be Indigenous, to read a book about Indigenous people who are not Indigenous to the USA. So this can be talking about people in Canada. It can also look at like the Indigenous people in like China or in Japan. You can get really creative. You could also talk about like read a book about the Aborigines. There's so many options that you can do with that, which I love that they're highlighting. And the last prompt is read the group book, which is Herd of Braves, which I think is a romance book, which is very exciting. That is by, can you guys even read my handwriting? Yeah, no, I can't. Paula Sanderson. Sorry, now is the very last prompt, and that would be consume something that is not a book. So consume like movie, consume music, all these different things. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing for that. So let's get into like the actual books that I've chosen. I've decided to knock a pretty big one off my list right away, and it's one that I don't have an actual copy of, and that would be Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee by Dee Brown. This is one that I've been meaning to get my hands on for 5 ever. Literally 5 ever. Yeah, so I finally got a copy of the audiobook because Audible's like changed their things. It's weird, but Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee was one of them, so I decided that I would gobble that up real quickly. So I'm gonna try and read that. And this would honestly kind of count for new to you, other than the 5 civilized tribes. So this next book that I chose to read is There by Tommy Orange. I found this at a Goodwill and I decided to pick it up because I've heard lots of really great things about this. I don't know that much about it. I know it's fiction. This is the only fiction book that I've decided to pick up. That group book's the second day. But this follows like a bunch of different characters going to a powwow, and they have all these different motivations for going to this powwow, and I'm just so excited. to get to it. I know this got to the finals in the BookTube prize round last year, so that's very exciting. I think it'll be very, very good. This would count. I flipped over my notes. Jesus. Like, again, this would count to like new to you. Probably intersectionality. I bet you there's some queer folks in. I'm not sure about Tribe Other Than the Five Citizens, because when I was doing like the checking on the inside of the book, it doesn't say. Also, like with this one, I made my parents mail it to me because I didn't bring it with me to college. So this next one is Cahokia, Ancient America's Great City in the Mississippi by Timothy R. Paquette. This is a book that I picked up like a year ago and still have not read. That was mainly because I was having issues like with access to audiobooks, and just recently like my library in Cincinnati got this as like their audiobooks, so I can finally have like ease of access to read this, and I'm glad that I waited before like jumping on that and like reading it right away, because now I have it and it like fits. Again, new to you. Other Than Five Tribes, it's gonna be like a very like anthropological like view of Cahokia and the civilization at Cahokia, because Cahokia is such an interesting like culture, because it is like one of the biggest like sites, but also it's like one of the most complex in terms of like social organization societies that we have in North America. Like they could get very complex, but they also struggled at times just because of like environment and resources that people had access to. So you don't see things like the Aztecs or the Incas like as you do in South America, as you do in North America, because of, again, access to resources. So I'm really excited for this one. This next one I picked up recently, and I haven't showed it off anywhere else on this channel, but I'm very excited for, and that is A History of the Original Peoples of Northern Canada. And this is written by Keith J. Crow, who is, I believe, like an anthropologist. He definitely like researched with them and lived with them for like many, many years. I don't know if he specifically is Native American or not, but this is going to not only do an anthropological like view of like Inuit life, it's also going to look at like history through the Inuits' eyes, which is really interesting because I don't know that much about like relations between Native peoples in other places other than America, and I feel like I need to do a better job at educating myself in different like parts of the world, because I'm probably not gonna wind up living here forever. This one will count, again, new to you, Other Than the Five Civilized Tribes, and about indigenous people that aren't in the US, because this is talking about Canada. I got an email. What the fuck do they want from me? Also, it's like 3 a.m. Why are you contacting me? Also, why am I awake? I have issues. I can't sleep. The very last book that I'm planning to read for this readathon is Lewis and Clark Through Indian Eyes. This is edited by Alvin M. Josephy Jr. and this is like an essay collection, so it has like features all of these different like Native peoples who are from a bunch of different tribes, talking about like their relationship with like people, but also talking about like the wake of Lewis and Clark and all of the changes that went. One of these dudes is a superintendent of the Mount Rushmore National Memorial, which is like, I wonder if he goes into that like at all, because Mount Rushmore is literally carved into the side of a mountain that is considered sacred, which is like disgusting. I picked this up like very, very long time ago when I was in like a bookshop, and I think Wisconsin, not sure about that. And I'm kind of hoping that I read this first. This doesn't have an audiobook, so we'll see how I get there. So this one, again, like it's gonna talk to like a bunch of different people, so it gets the Other Than the Five Civilized Tribes. New, this author is like new to me. I don't know if there's gonna be any intersectionality thing, because I don't know. I haven't read this yet. Hey guys, it's Editing EmmaAbe here. I just wanted to quickly tell you guys that after the filming of this video, I was actually the winner of a giveaway for the Heartbeat Braves. So that is a book that I will also be adding to my TBR and prioritizing as well. I'm really excited about that, and I cannot wait to receive this book. So on with the video. I think that's like it for me. Okay, so that is really all of my plans that I have for the IndigAthon. I am really excited. I was better prepared this year than I was for last year, because last year I think I heard about it like about a week before it started, which for me is just not enough time to like gather books and get things set up. Let me know, are you guys planning on participating in the IndigAthon? What books are you wanting to read? Do you have any other recommendations for me? Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I will see you next week, probably with another TBR video that maybe has something to do with nonfiction books. I don't know. Oh my god, I thought this stopped. I never hit record. Oh my god, that was a panic moment.